Culture is a generic term yet very difficult to define. Aside from the famous definition of Tyler and culture, scholars and social scientists vary different perspectives on how to properly define it. Also, because of its wider scope and it encompasses everything of man, experts from several fields find it complicated to box culture into one universal terminology. Matthew Arnold in his Culture and Anarchy mentioned that culture or high culture, as opposed to popular culture, is a product of a special intellectual or artistic endeavor humans had invented. With the complexities of culture, these are some important aspects of culture that enhance the progress of human interaction and socialization. First, we have culture that's dynamic, flexible, and adaptive. Technology has been developing for a long period of time, and most of the people nowadays knows how to use one or two gadgets. Our culture becomes flexible as we are adapting with the current generation. Instead of being out and dirty for playing street games, game developers develop the game that still instills our culture, just like playing Filipino games in real life. Our culture, in terms of music, also adapt to our current music taste. Different genre of music becomes popular at a certain period of time, like how jazz music became popular. The next thing we knew, disco music has sprouted, and everyone enjoys it. Second, culture is being shared and contested. In the Philippines, same-sex marriage is not widely accepted, and it is considered as a taboo. But other countries suggest this culture to us, although Filipinos refuse it and still debates for it. Filipinos like to share our own cuisines to different countries. We like to see foreigners enjoying our own delicacies like adobo, bibingka, paho, and some breads. Third, culture being learned through socialization or enculturation. Culture can be learned from different types of socialization and enculturation. We observe people do their culture and somewhat want to be part of it, like how we admire a model's figure. Since we were children, our parents teaches us our native language. But for foreigners, they can learn it through a school where they can socialize with their peers and teachers. Fourth, culture as patterned social interactions. Social interaction can be patterned, and it has many types. One of it is exchange pattern. An example of this is how we make our parents recognize us by doing different chores at home in one day, just so they can let us hang out with our friends later. Another type is coercion pattern that most likely looks like a blackmail. We tend to use a weakness of a person for them to do a favor for us. If they will refuse, then they will have to face a consequence, so they will do whatever the other person's request. Fifth, culture as being integrated and at times unstable. Culture can be at times unstable, but there will be a time that it will always be integrated. Just like how we will fight with our siblings at home, but when someone bullies them at school, they will always find a way to help and be each other's support. Sixth, culture as being transmitted through socialization or enculturation. Culture can be transmitted, and a perfect example of this is how parents teach and encourage their children to have their religion as theirs too. Children will learn their faith and also apply it to themselves. Seventh and the last aspect of culture. Culture requires language and other forms of communication. Culture can be a language of a certain country, but nonverbal communication is also a way of it, Like how we Filipinos point an object by pouting our lips to the object we want to get, while other culture may think you want to have a kiss with them. Other culture also encourages taking a bow when meeting a person to serve as a respect to that person. Also, thumbs up may be telling that you like what you ate, but for some countries, it is a rude gesture. Culture may be hard to define, but what we know is that it defines us as a citizen of our own country. Let us cultivate and not let our culture die. Let us respect each other's culture, and all will be well.